Sometimes you're the person who stays back, who stays behind. You don't move out to go to college. You don't decide to get an apartment with a friend, all because maybe you don't want to leave your sibling alone with your narcissistic parents, your addicted parents, the parent who drinks, is an abuser, is neglectful. Maybe you're the person who hovers. You always make sure that everyone's okay. Do they have enough to eat? Are they warm? Are there groceries? Do they need a ride anywhere? Or maybe sometimes you're the person who makes sure that your friend who's in prison always has money on their books, because if you don't, no one else will make sure that they have money to go to commissary. Sometimes, too, you choose to go home for the holidays not because you want to or because there's traditions that you enjoy and you want to be a part of, but because you are terrified by the idea that if you don't, others will suffer. No one's going to wish someone a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas. Maybe you are afraid that a holiday will pass in silence. No one's going to cook or decorate. Or maybe you're just worried that no one's going to check in at all and something preventable is going to go wrong. And that's the weight of growing up feeling responsible for others in families, in friendships, in any kind of relationship where chaos is the constant default setting, right? And I think about my grandparents who did this for my father. My father was hooked on drugs by the time he was 13 and a career criminal by the time he was 16 because he never had to go to school or get a job. And his entire life was never built upon consequences, right? My grandparents intervened constantly. They saved him from outcomes that very well might have killed him. And now my grandparents are dead. And my dad remains completely unchanged, right? And it's almost impossible to reconcile that during the holidays or any other day, because acknowledging something deeply uncomfortable, like sometimes the people you leave behind will suffer. Sometimes their lives will unfold in ways that hurt. Some people's stories are tragic. Sometimes they will die or live in pain or experience indignity or injustice, and you will not be able to intervene. And it's not because you're cruel, it's not because you're heartless or don't care. It's because saving them is, not your responsibility. And more than that, it's not your responsibility or your job to enforce their growth, their reckoning, or their redemption. That is theirs to do.